Alright, this is my speech, persuasive speech on the importance of sleep. My name is Austin Moser, and this is for Intro to Communication, Speech 100. Despite the huge amount of information and the health concerns and the studies that are out overwhelmingly about the lack of sleep, we continue to ignore it. And luckily it's one of these problems that we have the easiest way to treat, which is get better sleep in the face of fatigue. Fatigue. What is fatigue? It's a state of physical and mental weariness results in a reduced alertness. Okay, as you can see here, sleep debt is a result of fatigue, accumulates within unpaid sleep. So, majority of the time, 33% of our lives should be spent sleeping. Most of us should get 7 to 9 hours a night, but we don't. 1 to 1.5 hours less sleep per night is what we actually get. People's sleep was restricted 4 to 5 hours per night for 1 week, needed 2 full nights of sleep to recover from the sleep debt and have the same vigilance and performance and normal mood created by that amount of fatigue. Some of the symptoms, you'll have forgetfulness. A lot of people say they'll forget what they're doing, or they'll go somewhere and forget what they were just about to say or do. That's one of the symptoms of fatigue right away, your lack of sleep. Depressed, moody, lack of sense of humor, not quite Mr. Personality. Also, you have micro sleeps. We'll get into that later, but it's where your body forces itself in a deep state of sleep, out of your control. Slower reaction time, lack of alertness, and impaired decision making. The body clock. Everybody, internally, we have a body clock. It operates on a 24-hour cycle. It's known as circadian rhythm. Naturally, our body has these normal clocks that allow us to function throughout the day. You have your digestive system works under this, your hormone production, body temperature, all these things are on these natural cycles and rhythms of the circadian rhythm of your body. Light and dark also play a key factor in how your body reacts to the circadian rhythm throughout the day. Like this chart here, we have a high alertness. Right here at 6 a.m., let's say you're waking up. You'll have a rise in blood pressure. You'll stop your melatonin secretion, which means that natural hormone that allows you to be sleepy, your body will stop secreting that. It says bowel movement, likely around 8:30. Some people are regular. You got high alertness around 10, noon. Best coordination around 14:30. Fastest reaction time 15:30. And your greatest cardiovascular efficiency at around 17. Now this is very generic and average, but most people naturally have these same circadian rhythms. Right around 2100, your melatonin secretion starts again. Bowel movements are suppressed, and you're in the deepest sleep right around 2 in the morning. Like I said earlier, most people need the average of 7 to 9 hours a day. Do we get that? Not necessarily. Right now, I'm in the presence of people who are shift workers. You guys work night check hours. You work in a off circadian rhythm type of a clock. And you have to find a way for your body to meet those different cycles that aren't natural normally. It's not true that you need less sleep as you get older. In actuality, you need more sleep because while sleeping, you don't have the same sleep cycles and REM as you do when you're in a younger, more healthy state. Sleeping makes a difference in how much you get. And sleep is best obtained in a single block. Sleep is best obtained in a single block. There were studies that say you can stay awake for a prolonged period of time within 20-minute blocks of sleep. So people were able to stay up for 48, 72, 96 hours, sustaining 20-minute blocks of napping or sleeping and rest. But over time, it had decreased amount of health benefits, and it's not something that people should take as a lifestyle. And for example, in this slide here, we got deep sleep cycles. So as you enter sleep in stage 1 and 2, that's when you normally have that light state where half your sleep time is between 1 and 2. During 1, you can hear and respond to people, and usually a noise or something can awake you abruptly. And then during 2, you're not quite aware of your surroundings, and around 3 or 4, that's when you're in your more deeper slumber, when these sleep cycles dip below. Sleep 5 is known as REM, or rapid eye movement, and this is the stage of sleep where you dream. Researchers believe that the eyes move at this stage of sleep because your brain is scanning the images of your dreams, and each sleep cycle can last between 60 and 90 minutes. As you can see throughout the night, as you go through your sleep cycles, your REM state in red gets longer and longer until you're out of your full block of sleep. So that's why it's important for those longer bouts of sleep. They give you a longer length of REM state sleep, which is what your body needs to cycle through the day and become completely alert and ready for the next day. Consequence for health. Fatigue is an impact outside of work. Studies have found that shift workers, night shift, are more likely to suffer from cardiovascular, irritable stress, anxiety, depression, gastrointestinal, and reproductive problems. How to get the sleep you need. There's a couple things you can do. Make sure the temperature's right. Also, move distractions to another room. If you have TV in your bedroom or loud noises, keep the bedroom for sleep, sex, things like that you would normally keep in your bedroom. Try to leave the distractions out of it. It's harder to avoid in the face of trying to get good sleep. Make it dark as possible. During times of daylight savings time, your body's circadian rhythm gets thrown off because of the light cycles. So when it's naturally light outside, you're going to have the tendency to be awake, and when it's darker outside, you have a tendency to be tired. Well, if you're in a state where the time moves to the point where it's darker earlier, you're going to tend to be awake through that dark period and not able to catch up with that time without taking the preventive sleep early in order to not have that sleep debt later on. Good sleeping habits. Keep to a regular bedtime routine. Some women take a bath, brush your teeth, same time every time, wind down before trying to sleep. Be careful what you eat or drink. No caffeine or high fats, big meals right before you sleep. Adjust your bedtime gradually if your shift changes. Take a nap and sleep inertia. Naps can supplement sleep, not replace it. So don't think that you got a full night's sleep just because you took a 20-minute nap. Know that that's going to help supplement you to the next stage of sleep. The value of a nap does depend on the time of day and allow 5 to 20 minutes for inertia to pass. So when you wake up from a nap, don't just get right to work, right in your car or anything. There's a lag of sleep inertia where you need to get up and move in high levels of noise, activity, exercise, anything can kind of pull you out of that sleep inertia. Use caffeine correctly. A lot of people use caffeinated beverages, monsters, and things to kind of surge them through a tired, fatigue state or on a marathon of awake. And it's better to use them strategically when you really need the help staying awake. Don't use them excessively. As you know, caffeine, you can grow dependent, tolerant to it, so it's not going to work if you're really hoping then need it when you need it. Take 20 minutes to take effect, so give the caffeine the amount of time it needs, and it could last up to 6 hours. Drugs and alcohol. Alcohol breaks down into sugar in your system, so it will disrupt your sleep. And also it eliminates all REM sleep in the first half of your sleep period. So know that going to sleep while you're intoxicated or have alcohol in your system, even though you may feel you sleep harder, it doesn't give you the same rest as being sober and sleep. Your REM is going to be deducted, and then you'll feel that grogginess the next day from that lack of rest within the same time period. Also, sleep deprivation. Studies found that impairment from alcohol intoxication is almost equal to that of sleep deprivation under certain amounts. So after 17 hours awake, you can be impaired as though if your alcohol level was 0.05. And after 24 hours awake, your impairment level matches that of 0.10. And that's excess of driving drunk. So don't drive if you've been up for 24 hours of time, please, or more than 19 hours even. Fatigue driving. Make sure after a long shift, you take the time to change your temperature, have some sort of rest, have another plan if you need to stop off, and avoid highway hypnosis. So do your best to mitigate what you can in the face of fatigue. Fatigue. This chart here shows blood alcohol concentration and hours of wakefulness, and it shows a consistent correlation between the two and how they relate, and it is the same similarity as if you were impaired on alcohol. Physical exercise. That's good for your overall health. Relieves stress, strengthens immune function, and keeps your heart rate elevated for at least 20 minutes is good, because that's going to create that internal cardiovascular kind of cycle in your day-to-day. Those are the things that are going to help you keep in a rhythm and help you sleep better and feel more rested. Some other sleep disorders are chronic insomnia, narcolepsy, sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, periodic limb movement disorder. If you think you have any of these, that might be a reason why you're not maintaining the same level of sleep. Go to a physician if you have any questions about those, and that's all I have. Is there any questions?
What's a microsleep?
Microsleep. Okay. Microsleep is when your body is starved from REM, or you're in such a level of fatigue when it gets from 19, 24 hours lack of sleep, your body will go in a snap REM state. It'll steal its state of sleep from you. This can happen during driving. They've noticed reaction time can be influenced, and in up to 2 hours of driving, you might accumulate up to 20 complete minutes of micro sleeping. So over these 2-second to 30-second time frames of micro sleeps or quick blinks, over time, that's your distraction of where you're operating through muscle memory and motor vehicle, that you're actually, your body's stealing sleep during those periods. And if you've ever had that where you've kind of nodded, or maybe at a stoplight stopped, caught a few and woke up, oh it's green, sometimes those can happen if you're in that severe state of fatigue. I've had it happen before. Best thing you can do if that happens is pull over the side of the road, take a 20-minute nap. If you can't afford it, take the rest, take a nap. That'll help you get to wherever you gotta go. I'd like to show the video, but my capabilities are down, so I had a good one.
Pretty good. I liked it.
All right. Well, thank you, and Skoglund, I appreciate it.